Hey, this is Nerdy Text Account, and I'm going to be doing a review of Aero issues 1 through 3. Main reason why I'm deciding to do 1 through 3 is due to a few different reasons. One, since it's very similar to manga, I decided to going to be comparing it to manga. We have this one, the Mega Man Master Mix, which is probably the closest to that, and then these four here: Demon Slayer, Fire Force, Monster Musume, and Summon Spider. So what? These are each in order of cheapest to most expensive. Main reason why that is because usually the main first issue of one of these is usually the double the size of a regular chapter, and also pricing. If you put these together, they're each $3.99, so it'll be $11.97 pre-tax when you add them all together, if you don't have a discount for having a box or anything like that. This is $7.99, so $8, and it's also in color, so that's one thing against this. It's 80 pages, which is these together 24, 25, and I know it's over 20 pages. This is just the main story, not including the extra story in the back here. You can see I'm talking about this, the main story here. It's over 60, probably closer to 70 plus pages. This is 80 pages of just one story. So, you have that. Also with the pricing here. Demon Slayer is $9.99. Fire Force is $10.99. Monster Musume is $12.99. And Summon Spider, so what, is $13. But you get so much more content. So that's one major problem. You get way more content than you do in these in a regular manga. So that's a point against it. I don't have a problem with the art style. I'm fine with this art style. But there are a few problems here and there. The amount of the energy wave stuff does kind of get in the way with the rest of it. If you look here, it's just way too much of this covering up, and you can't even tell what the heck is going on here. It's just white light. See, that's the main problem that I have with it. It's just some of the energy stuff, it gets in the way of the other art of it, and that's the main problem with the art. There's one other problem I have, well, with the covers. These two characters never appear in the first issue. She appears in the second issue, and he appears at the very end where you don't really see him. And none of these ice creatures are even in it. Why are we getting things on the cover that have not happened yet? That is the main problem with the covers I have. The story itself, it's just action scenes with cuts of her life before, but she's already known as Aero by the third issue, even in those scenes where before she became a hero. So it just really annoys me what they did. The main problem is it just being with an action scene, her in Shanghai, and she's an architect fighting giant buildings. Then we just get to her months earlier, and it's just pointlessness of her just talking that she hasn't had her powers. she just gained the powers, before. Now she can fly. She likes to fly. And she's happy about her life, how it is. And then back to the fight scene, ending with a giant monster reveal. You're thinking, okay, that's pretty cool. How is it going to go? She doesn't fight the monster. She then uses her senses to find her former teacher, her powers, and then says she can then sense her chi, which she stated before that she used her powers of the controlling wind to find her. So does her wind power connect to finding chi? It just makes it more confusing when it does that. Is chi something separate than her powers? And it's just another fight scene of her finding her former teacher, who is now evil. I have a question. Why is she evil? Why are they fighting? How does she... her powers, or are these new powers? Because it says new powers, new weapons. So does she train with them without her teacher? Do you be able to create air contracts and stuff like that? And the thing that we learn about her is that she doesn't want to get married. Yep, she's not ready to get married. And then, someone cries for help. The third issue, she's fighting the apprentice, the new apprentice. And that's pretty much it. She's having... the guy's able to go through her shield. And is having trouble fighting. But she's not complete... but she's having a difficult time. She's able to hit him back, and then her former teacher hits her all the way back to over here, where it continues the flashback where she saves someone as Aero, and everyone knows who she is. So why is she known as Aero? When did she get started as Aero? When did she start using her superpowers for good? Not explained. No motivation as to why she becomes, the hero in Shanghai. Nothing. This character is bland, and that's the whole problem. We have a fight scene that has no build-up, nothing at all, no characterization, nothing we know about her, and this is the main problem I have. I believe that Aero was first written in China. I don't know if the writer has any previous history of writing comic books or Chinese manhwa, or Chinese comics. I've read one online before that was 3 to 5 years ago, so I can't remember the name, but it was about a male student who enters high school that was used to be an all-girls school, now became co-ed, very few boys there. And it's a fighting place where you get to learn all these different martial arts. You can learn that. And he has a problem with women because his mother abandoned him, so he had to raise his younger siblings. I can't remember the name. And if you're wondering, there's also Korean manga, which is, I think, closer to looking like actual manga. The only one that I know of is something called Witch Hunters, which got renamed to Witch Busters in the US under 7 Seas. But the only thing this sets for this series is really nothing. It's just the first story. And I don't know how the heck it's going to continue. Is it just going to be one extremely long fight scene for multiple issues without any explanation of who the teacher is? What's their connection? Why did the teacher become evil? Was she always evil? What? And Aero just didn't realize it. I'm going to use Demon Slayer's first chapter is a good example. What we learn in Demon Slayer in chapter 1. We learn about Tanjiro being nice. He's in his life before they all get killed. We learn about demons, how they are formed from, I can't remember his name. but the demon slayer who tells Tanjiro about the demon cord, we learn that demons are created when humans get demon blood in them. We learn that there's a demon core that exists and people just slay demons. We learn that Tanjiro cares about his family. He has amazing sense and smell. They give you small things, and they give you a motivation for him. He wants to make Nezuko back into human. That's the whole point of this series, of why he becomes a demon slayer and everything. So you have motivation. What is motivating Aero to become a superhero? We don't know, because she's already a hero. And what I thought was going to be her moment of realizing, hey, I should use my powers for good, when she says, I can't marry you right now, goes off to save someone. No, she's already Aero. She's already saving people. So I'm confused as to why they have that in, if it's not even that important of the first people that she saved. If she's already known enough by everyone to call her Aero, why are you showing this to us? It's just a random moment in time that just says, oh yeah, she doesn't want to get married. She saves people. And here's the people she saved. That's all it did. This is a real disappointment, and I am annoyed at this. I say, don't pick it up. I was thinking, maybe I can do like the anime rule of 3 episodes. You watch the first 3 episodes. If you don't like it, you drop it. If you like it, continue watching it. And I gave it 3 issues. I spent over $12 on this. Well, we include tax. And it's not worth it. When, $10 you get this. Like, for $13 you get this much, and it's a much better story. And you could have gotten this for $12.99. I guess I could also say that the first chapters don't have to be just about setting up the whole story. And this manga, it just sets the tone. It's ecchi comedy, and that's really all it needs to do. And it does it well. And we learn a little bit about the world. We learned that monsters and humans are living together now, but it's still tense. So they're doing an exchange program. And we're learning more about the world. And this poor man's, I do feel sorry for him, almost dying to all these monster girls who love him. It's so sad. And it's just not that. I'm just really disappointed that I spent money on this. I'm not even getting into the backup issues in here, the backup stories, because if the main story isn't going to give you enough about the title character, and the backup story focuses on a completely different character and actually tells you stuff about that character, why doesn't that character just have her own comic? I'm just baffled at the reasoning behind this. What they could have done is put it in epic poem format. That is, you start somewhere, kind of like Berserk. You start at the middle of the story. In Berserk, you start with him fighting off demons. He's killing the female demon in the very first page, so we know, okay, there are demons that exist in this world. And then the story goes, he then kills the snake demon. Later on, is not just the first chapter, this is like the first 2.5 of a manga, of the volumes of manga. Then he fights the slug demon count, then sees Griffith, and then you're wondering, okay, what's the history behind them? Then they go back to Guts' birth, and his life continues on up to the point where the eclipse happens, And you see why he hates Griffith so much. And then it continues to hit when he gets the dragon slaying sword, the giant piece of metal that is a sword. It's awesome. And then you continue off where you left off of him after killing the Count. That would have been a much better storyline here, where it could have been she's having a rough time in a fight. You go back, you see how she gets to that point, and then continues, and then from there she finds the motivation to then continue fighting, and then when. It's cliched. Yes, it would have been actually much better. A well-done cliche is better than a poorly done new idea. It was just... I think they were trying to add slice of life elements into this here. It's like, oh, look at her life. This is her life. Even though we don't have any idea who she is, why she does this. And there's no motivation for her to be a hero. I think if I keep going, I'll just be ranting even more. I want to thank you for watching. Tell me your thoughts down below. What you thought of this. Do you think that this could have been a good idea, that they messed it up, that Marvel should maybe just simply stop trying to do this? Hopefully the Marvel manga that they're releasing in Shonen Jump, hopefully that's actually going to be a lot better than Aero. Who knows? I'm sorry I ranted, but I think when I have much superior stuff here, and then I'm buying this, and it's just so much more in comparison to this, I think it's just not worth buying these. And I like the design of Aero. It's not bad, but it is kind of a little bit bland. But it wasn't terrible. So, maybe I was hoping for more, because I thought, okay, it's not the normal people writing it from Marvel. Well, it's a disappointment. It's boring. The fight scene just happens, and you have no investment in it. And I think that's the main problem. There's not enough investment to care about this character or the story to keep going. Again, thank you for watching. Have a great day.